Recently, I've been getting a lot of questions about how I stay so consistent in my forever world, and today I'm here to share some of those tips and tricks with you guys. Now, there's quite a bit, so honestly, let's just get right into it. I've had this world for about 4 months now, which isn't very long for a forever world, but it is pretty long to be consistently posting forever world videos on YouTube. A lot of times I see people post their videos for a month or two and then forget about them, but I'm surprised at the fact that I've actually been able to stay motivated on this world for many months so far and many to come. Now, one of the first things that has helped me do this is actually making a plan. When I started this world, I had a rough idea of what I wanted. I knew that there were quite a lot of things that I always wanted to get done in my worlds, and that I'd finally get them done in this one. For example, I always wanted to work on custom trees. I also really wanted to have a bunch of big flowers around my world. I have a little Pinterest board that I consistently add ideas onto, and there's no specific world for what it's for. It's kind of just for fun. And so that's what I took a lot of inspiration for this world from. Now, another thing that has been really helpful while keeping this world is actually watching other YouTubers. I have been watching a lot of people in my niche work on their worlds, and it inspires me to continue on mine. And I'm not the only one who feels this way. In fact, a lot of my supporters have said the same thing. Whenever I'm working on this world and alive, a lot of times people will come in and tell me that they're also working on theirs or that I've inspired them to work on theirs. And it's honestly so amazing to hear. And it's so cool because I can relate to it as well, as I do pretty much the same exact thing. I kind of think of it as to be motivated is to be inspired. So basically inspired by other YouTubers, inspired by Pinterest or TikTok posts, there's always going to be an area where you can get a little bit of inspiration if you're feeling like you need it. Another tool that has really helped me during this process is kind of detailing every little bit and piece of my world. So usually in my previous worlds, I'd kind of just build something and then leave it and call it a day. But this world, I really worked on focusing and honing in on the little details here and there. And honestly, it's still something I'm working on to this day, but I think just that alone helps you stay so much more motivated. Knowing you're coming back to a cute world that is cozy and fun to work on is always really inspiring for me. Now, one area where you can kind of really see this come to life is how I added these giant flowers around my world, and I also detailed every little section of the path. I even made my portal decorated, which is something I've actually never done in any of my worlds, but I saw a design similar to this on Pinterest. It's kind of like a little amethyst shard, and the nether portal is right in the middle, and I honestly love it so much. I feel like that alone adds to my world, and it just makes me more motivated to play. As you can see, I also kind of decorated the path area with amethyst and moss. And if you come along this path, you can see that there's a bunch of flowers and carpets and a bunch of cute stuff. This is a very simple build. It's honestly just a flower field, but it's kind of something good to do when you're feeling a little bit more burnt out, as it's not a crazy build or anything. It's kind of just a flower forest in the middle of my world. And honestly, it turned out so cute and I'm really happy with it. I also added over this little pond, which is kind of pointless, honestly. It's really just for looks, but I think that alone also can really help to keep you motivated. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I'm a person who deeply loves animals, so that's gonna be a real big inspiration for my world. I've had a lot of pens and little buildings for each of my animals. For example, I have this little spawn area which also functions as a little cat area. I still am in the midst of collecting cats, so don't worry. One day it will be full of them, but I also built a cute little enclosure for my ghast. This is something else I've never done. Usually I don't even get a happy ghast, but going out of your comfort zone is definitely fun in a world like this where it's kind of just your own creativity at work. I also did a lot of things like adding these little details to this barn and also to my pond, if you guys saw that back there. just adding cute little flowers and things that really scream you are really motivating, honestly, to keep playing in the world. Now, when I spawned into this world, I kind of came in with the idea of keeping it forever, obviously. I know this is kind of a trend or a micro trend right now on YouTube where everybody's making forever worlds, but honestly, not everybody is actually keeping them. So I have a tendency to not keep my worlds or to not finish through with them. So when I made this world, I had the very strong plan to honestly just stick to it and try to bring as much life as I could to it. And it's amazing because I'll be able to pass this world on to my kids. I'll be able to play it for years, and it's really just an amazing feeling. Now, another thing that helps me stay motivated in playing in this world is adding very light mods. When I essentially had started it, I was hesitant on if I wanted to add mods or not, just because they aren't always transferable down the line, and I was worried about having complications with that in the later years. But I ultimately decided, why not just add a couple mods? I mean, it is my forever world after all, so I ended up adding in a couple of my favorites, mostly all Vanilla Plus for the mean part. I added in Moo Blooms, those are some of my favorites. It's really great for farming ideas, so for my Moo Bloom pen, I am going to be adding a bunch of flowers and mushrooms and all sorts of fun stuff. I added a nature's compass so I can find different worlds or different biomes, and it's honestly just so exciting. There are endless things to do in Minecraft, honestly. And I think now with all the recent updates and all of the new wood types, I have been even more motivated to play with this inspiration of trying to become a better builder. And this brings me on to my next point, which is setting goals for yourself on what you want to accomplish while having this world. So for me, it was obviously to build new things that I've never gotten to build before. I wanted to really deck it out and work on my decorating and detailing skills. And most importantly, I wanted to work on my building and my building style. And I think amongst having this world, I have significantly improved on my building technique and style. One really cool idea that I've seen a couple of YouTubers do, specifically Jossie, is kind of have a forever world where your building style kind of evolves throughout the series. For example, you start out with wood and then you slowly move to copper and then this type of block. And I think it's a really good way to improve your building palette. This is one thing I've been trying to work on, and I honestly haven't been doing too much of it in this world. It's something that I kind of plan to do in the future, but really expanding with different wood types. I've actually never really built with crimson or mangrove or pale oak, so those are kind of some of the things that I want to expand upon in this world. Usually I just go for birch, oak, and cherry, and as much as those colors are super cool, I think it's a time for a little bit of a change. Since making this world, I have also learned to use firefly bushes. When I initially started my YouTube channel, I actually hated how these looked, and I thought they were very ugly, I'm not gonna lie, but over the course of just my building style growing and me learning as a person, I've learned to really appreciate it. I think it's actually one of my favorite blocks or objects in Minecraft, and I think it's so useful for building as well. I think a forever world is also a really good place to kind of put those Pinterest ideas into work. If you guys know what I'm talking about, I mean like the floating lanterns and the giant flowers and all of that really cool magical stuff that you don't see in a typical cozy hardcore or just regular Let's Play. I think it's something that I really wanted to branch over into my forever world, and I honestly haven't done too much of it yet. I do have a couple flowers here and there, and I also have my little lily pad walking area, which I think is so cute. But as I expand in this world, I definitely want to add more of that. I think lanterns in the sky and hanging lights would be really cool and add to that kind of bioluminescent glowing type of vibe that I've been seeing all over Pinterest. I also like incorporating older style type of things, for example, using a lot of rainbows and just stuff like that, honestly. For example, my flower forest is completely color coded. It's supposed to be like a little rainbow flower hill, and I think it's very cute and it very much screams like 2016 vibes, and I think that's a really cool idea that I was able to bring over into this. Now, my Forever World series is mostly supposed to be kind of cozy and just very aesthetic, but I have seen a couple of people go a different route and kind of just make their Forever World super modded and super them. And I think that's a really cool idea. I've seen that a lot over here on YouTube, and that is also an amazing idea for keeping and playing in a Forever World. And I've also seen, I know one person in specifically who does it is Ruby's. She kind of has her Forever World very 2016 vibe. She has like a giant Pusheen cat in the air, or a giant neon cat in the air, all sorts of fun stuff. She has like Adventure Time, and she also even has an old mod pack, or not mod pack, but an old resource pack that retextures everything to be old Minecraft styles, which I think is so cool and so unique, and you really don't see it too much here on YouTube anymore. And I just think the coolest thing about having a Forever World is it's so uniquely to you and to yourself that you can really do whatever your heart desires. And even if you're not a YouTuber, even if you're not a mod person, there's so many routes you could go with a Forever World. You can even make it with your friends, your family, or even your partner. Me and my boyfriend actually used to have a little Forever World that we would play on for quite a while. Unfortunately, we did make it on one of those Aeterno servers, so after a couple of months of not playing, our server got deleted, and it was so sad because we had made so much progress on there. But it's honestly just so much fun to sit down and get to play Minecraft and kind of just do whatever makes you happy. I know in our Forever World, my boyfriend was really obsessed with getting happy gas, so he would kind of go to the nether and do all the mining and all the scary stuff, and I would kind of stay behind and work on the crop fields or building us cute little houses and builds. So sometimes playing with other people is even more fun for a Forever World. I am actually part of this series called Hearth, and if you guys haven't seen that or don't know what it is, essentially it's a server with me and a bunch of my other friends and some content creators, and also just some of my friends' friends who are just playing on a Minecraft world. It's essentially supposed to be just a big Forever World that we all share together, which is super cute. And I think it's a really great idea to start that with somebody or a group of people that you really value. Like I said, there are so many ways you can go with the Forever World route. After all, it is all about making it your world. Now, one thing that I have been seeing a lot in my comment section is actually suggesting me to build a cat cafe in my world. And while I'm kind of doing more of the laid-back farmer type of style, it is something I have actually been considering doing. So maybe adding little shops to your area or little fun accessories that aren't, they don't have to be functional. They can also just be cute little builds. I have also been wanting to build a little storage area in my world. That is one thing I haven't gotten into yet, which is probably much needed. I am also making a little crop field right now because I have one for wheat, but I don't have one for carrots or potatoes. So I'm kind of doing a 2-in-1 and yapping while getting that done. Now is also a great time for a little reminder to subscribe if you haven't already and join on this journey of creating this Forever World and creating so many more worlds and memories to come. Another thing that I personally really want to add to my Forever World is a little sniffer enclosure. I've really been wanting to add one of those. I actually did a video where we kind of went and looked for sniffer eggs, but we didn't have too much luck. So I'm hoping sometime in the near future to get them. I'm actually recording in between episodes right now, kind of just doing random dailies in this world while yapping to you guys. My favorite thing to do. But yeah, I think a sniffer enclosure is something I really want in this world. Like I said earlier, I'm a huge animal person, so for me, animal builds and stalls and enclosures are one of my favorite things to do, personally. I'm also really considering having a little exhibit for each animal, so like foxes have their own exhibits, I don't know what else, turtles have their own exhibits. I think that's a really fun idea to kind of add more to do in this world, and I actually got suggested that by a couple people in my comments, so it's definitely something that not only I could do, but you guys could bring into your own world. I've had also a lot of questions about what type of content you do when you're doing a forever world. How do you not get bored, which is, I mean, kind of what we've been talking about, different things here and there. But I also think one of the most important things is to take a little break when you're feeling burnt out. A lot of times before, I would kind of just keep doing something even if I didn't really want to, and I'd kind of be losing motivation, and honestly that's not really fun. So whenever you're feeling like that, it's honestly great to just take a couple day break from your world and try to focus on some other things in the meantime. And if you're still feeling demotivated after that, that's okay. There are lots of things that help me get remotivated. For example, I said this earlier, but watching other YouTubers play, sometimes watching someone else do something makes you want to do it more. I mean, that's kind of the whole reason I started my channel. I got inspired by watching Minecraft videos, and I wanted to start doing it for myself. So honestly, you can take that advice and apply it really anywhere for that matter. And kind of bouncing back to challenging yourself with a new world, one thing I've really been working on is kind of making some custom trees. This is something I didn't really do before in any of my other worlds, so I thought I'd kind of bring it into this one and try my best to get a little bit better at making them. And honestly, the outcome has been amazing. I have really been satisfied with some of the trees I've made in this world. Now, I hope this was able to help at least one person with their forever world, and if you made it this far in the video, then I encourage you to subscribe and leave a like, as it really helps my channel. Now, if you guys are interested in my Forever World series, I will link it above this video, so make sure to go check that out. And with that, I will see you guys next time. Bye guys!